Hello, and today I'll be demonstrating the capabilities of my application that forms a part of my extended project qualification. So first of all, what is my project? My project is to create a local area network chat server, which is also reflected by the title here. You see the title of the web page is a LAN chat server. By performing both a front end and a back end operation, I was able to create this connection between the server and the client through the WebSockets protocol that allow them to communicate with each other in real time. Now, first of all, the interface itself, right? So you have the page title itself, a sidebar menu that provides some configuration and nice utilities. Now, returning to home page, you see there's the most important thing here, which is a login window. So, in fact, the chat itself supports authentication. A side note, don't worry about the domain name. This is just a free domain name that my friend kindly offered to me to host this application on. It's for a different purpose, so therefore the different name. Anyway, so the login window, there is a username and a password input prompt. Now, in this scenario, I have created two new different accounts to just to show you how the flow of the application proceeds in such a way. So first of all, let's register a new user. So we're going to click the register button here. You can see the logout button is grayed out because we don't have a logged in user currently ready. So register, you can see below immediately there's a new window that pops in. It says logged in as the new user, and then immediately when you join, there is also a welcome message that is automatically sent um, by the client to the server, and then the server broadcasts it back to all of the current clients that are connected onto the server. So now let's say if we type something like hello world, the classic computer science thing. When you click send, then there is a new message that happens here. It says message from the user and the actual message itself. Now let's see a multi-user example because of course you want multiple users to be connected in a chat network, right? You don't want to just be talking with yourself. That's a bit antisocial. So if we have a new window here, right, with a different username and a different password, when you click register, whoops, username is taken as invalid because I had done a previous test. Let's say if we change it to Zhongheng L3 and we register, you see that we have actually joined the server right here. So that's great. And actually you see the broadcasting capabilities of the server now because this message is sent across all of the clients at once through a mechanism which I will later show in the actual coding of the program itself. And let's just also test the functionality of two clients as well. So, for example, you have hello from Zhongheng L3. Now you see the message also is read back to you on this interface, but also it appears on the other one as well. So then you know, in fact, that a multi-client messaging system is achievable. But if that's not convincing enough for you, I have also prepared a small phone demo that's going side by side. So let's just say if we have HTTPS proteinpedia.u.uk 8080. Now we are logged in to the phone instance of the chat server as well. Let's say we have username phone, password is 123. And then when we register, you can see that we have joined the server as well. The application itself is designed dynamically so that it also works as well as it does on a computer. with a different set of UI requirements. So let's say phone joined the server, right? Let's say something like hello from phone, how are you doing? Typical message. And now you see it also displays itself on the other clients. But of course, there's also some other buttons here. You see the switch language button, which is, to be honest, one of my more proud features of this program. When you click switch language, of course, the interface itself, I have to agree, is not the most user-friendly because you have to put in some codes that you may or may not know. But let's say, in this case, we have American English. But from the international school where I was based in Greece, you can also change this to Ellinika, which means Greek in Greece. So then you have a completely different interface, and the UI elements actually automatically adapt to the current language through a state transition type system. Now, when you put in a different thing, this is for Arabic, you can see that it also dynamically changes the language as well. This is defined through an internationalization document, actually, instead of hard coding everything into the actual program itself. I will later show this in the code as well. So, right, you have all of this. But then what about maybe Chinese? There's also similar things like that. But that's enough of the internationalization capabilities. Let's look at how the client actually communicates by first let's log out and then let's reload the network tab here. Let's log in as my default user. And here you can see, first of all, we perform authentication on the server side. Perhaps you didn't see that correctly enough. So here, there's a post request to the endpoint at this address, API v1 auth. So this is the authentication endpoint where the request is a username with the hash of the password that the user has put in. You can see here it is expressed as this string, which uniquely identifies, which uniquely corresponds to. But it's very hard to reverse engineer from an original password, which is secure enough. And the response is that, it is successful, the user has a profile, and it exists. Authentication message, that's fine. And then, of course, also for logging purposes, the actual time in milliseconds, where the authentication actually succeeded. So then you collect the actual user information of the end user itself. So now the client also knows from the server, a single source of truth who is connecting. So you see here a unique user ID, the username, date joined, and of course the password hash itself. But then we perform another connection to the WebSockets interface. The WebSockets client connects to this address, which is a WS endpoint. First of all, we connect, and the server acknowledges that we connected. Then we subscribe to an endpoint on a destination on the server. Then this is a client-side logic. We send a message from the client, which consists of the following body. So you have a message type, which is in this case hello. There's also other message types, of course, I'll show you later, from user ID, which is at this moment just the username itself, and then to user ID, which is everyone, because we are broadcasting it to a server. The content is this, joining message, and of course also the time at which it is sent. And then the server, being a broadcaster, also broadcasts the message back in. Now, so let's send a normal message. So there. Now you see some new messages have been sent. So first of all, there is this data packet that is being transmitted to the server, which says a body of type a generic message from the user ID, which is the user, to the user ID, which is everyone. The content is the actual content of the message itself and the time set. So that's all. As you can see, the chat server itself is quite robust. It performs all of the basic functionalities and has basic security features that allow it to be a more secure and a competitive alternative to some of the things we are used to today when it comes to chatting on the internet. Finally, of course, there's also some error handling features. For example, if we log out, then let's say we got our username wrong because we have sticky fingers. So now when we log in again, it will tell us a meaningful message that username does not exist, and that if we type the password wrong, but our username is correct, it displays the other information. So there we go. If you want to register again, it will say username is taken or invalid. And that's pretty much all of the error processing features. And that concludes the UI aspect of this demonstration.